Good evening, and welcome back to WNBA Trending. I'm your host, Ava, and today we turn our attention to a fascinating headline that's catching major buzz across the league. A Los Angeles Sparks legend has revealed her dream coaching destination in the WNBA, and it just happens to be with Caitlyn Clark's Indiana Fever. This story has sparked plenty of conversation among fans, analysts, and even former players, so let's break it all down. The Indiana Fever have been one of the most talked about teams in professional basketball this season. From the moment they drafted Caitlyn Clark, the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, expectations and interest in the franchise skyrocketed. The Fever went from a team struggling to find its identity to one at the center of national attention, consistently drawing large crowds and dominating media coverage. And now, with their rapid rise, the Fever are not just seen as a team to watch on the court, they're also being looked at as a dream destination for coaches who want to be part of something historic. This week, a Sparks legend, a name synonymous with success and leadership in the WNBA, openly admitted that if she were to step into a head coaching role, her ideal destination would be none other than the Indiana Fever. Her reasoning was clear: the opportunity to coach Caitlyn Clark and help shape the trajectory of a rising franchise is simply too enticing to ignore. For context, the Fever haven't made the playoffs in years. They've been in rebuild mode for nearly a decade, struggling to regain the dominance they once had in the Tamika Catchings era. But with Caitlyn Clark's arrival, paired with young stars like Aliyah Boston, Nalissa Smith, and Kelsey Mitchell, the franchise is experiencing a true rebirth. They're selling out arenas, topping TV ratings, and bringing a new generation of fans into the WNBA. From a coaching perspective, that's about as appealing as it gets. Now, let's talk about the Sparks legend herself. Her career was marked by grit, skill, and a championship mentality. Over the years, she became not just a cornerstone of the Sparks organization but also an ambassador for women's basketball. So, when she spoke about the Indiana Fever as her dream coaching stop, people listened. It wasn't a throwaway comment. It was a genuine acknowledgement of where the energy and excitement in the league are right now. And make no mistake, the Caitlyn Clark effect is real. Clark hasn't just changed the Fever, she's changed the entire landscape of women's basketball. Merchandise sales are soaring, ticket prices are at historic highs, and media coverage has reached new levels. She's brought attention to her team, her opponents, and the league as a whole. That's why someone who has already cemented their legacy as a player would want to attach their coaching career to this rising star. Imagine the possibilities: a seasoned veteran of the Sparks organization mentoring Caitlyn Clark, guiding Aliyah Boston, and helping the Fever transition from a rebuilding team into a perennial contender. It would be a storybook chapter for both the coach and the franchise. But it also raises an interesting question. Is Indiana ready for that next step? They've been showing flashes of brilliance, but they're still a young team learning how to win consistently. Coaching could make all the difference. A leader with championship experience could be the final piece that helps turn potential into dominance. The Fever's current coaching staff has done an admirable job in helping this roster grow, but professional sports are always about what's next. Could the addition of a Sparks legend create the perfect mix of youth and experience to push Indiana to new heights? Fans seem to think so. Social media reactions poured in almost instantly after the comments were made. Many Fever fans said they'd welcome the idea with open arms, while Sparks fans reflected on how much of an influence their legend could still have on the game from the sidelines. It's not uncommon for former players to pursue coaching careers in the WNBA. In fact, many of the league's best leaders started their journeys on the hardwood. They bring first-hand experience, empathy, and credibility that resonates deeply with current players. So the idea of a Sparks icon wanting to coach Caitlyn Clark is more than speculation. It's part of a larger trend of players turn coaches, shaping the future of the league. But beyond the X's and O's, there's a symbolic layer to this story as well. The Los Angeles Sparks have long been one of the league's most iconic franchises, known for their championships and Hall of Fame players. By contrast, the Indiana Fever are still chasing the chance to return to glory. A Sparks legend joining the Fever would be a symbolic passing of the torch, a recognition that the WNBA is shifting and that Indiana is now one of the league's most desirable destinations. And it's not just about basketball. Indiana, a state steeped in hoops tradition, has embraced Caitlyn Clark in a way few markets could. The Fever are becoming a cultural phenomenon in Indianapolis, much like the Pacers did during their heyday. Adding a high-profile coach to the mix would only fuel that excitement. It would attract even more national attention and cement the Fever as the centerpiece of the WNBA's new era. Now, while the idea sounds exciting, there are still hurdles. Coaching vacancies in the WNBA are rare, and the Fever have expressed confidence in their current leadership. Additionally, transitioning from player to coach isn't easy. It requires a different mindset, patience, and the ability to manage egos and expectations. Still, if there's anyone who can make that transition smoothly, it's a player who has already proven herself as a leader on and off the court. The potential partnership between this Sparks legend and Caitlyn Clark also speaks to the importance of mentorship. Clark is already a superstar, but she's still adjusting to the pace and physicality of professional basketball. Having someone with championship experience in her ear could accelerate her growth and help her avoid common pitfalls faced by rookies. Aliyah Boston, too, would benefit from a coach who understands the grind of winning in the WNBA. Together, the Fever's young core could become unstoppable under the right guidance. For now, this remains a dream scenario. But dreams often have a way of becoming reality in sports. Just a year ago, the idea of Caitlyn Clark playing in Indiana was only speculation. Now she's the face of the franchise. Could the next big storyline be a Sparks legend walking the sidelines in Fever red and yellow? Only time will tell. What's clear is that the Fever are no longer just another rebuilding team. They've become the epicenter of WNBA storylines, and everyone, from fans to former players, wants a piece of the action. Whether it's players wanting to join forces with Clark or coaches dreaming of leading her into battle, Indiana has officially arrived on the league's biggest stage. And that's the beauty of sports, the way one player, one team, or one legend's words can ignite endless possibilities. That's all for today's top story. I'm Ava, and this is WNBA Trending. Stay tuned for more updates, highlights, and deep dives into the stories shaping the future of women's basketball.